Welcome here to an all-new edition of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. This is a special presentation of what we like to call the Bobcat Buzz. Bobcats of Bryant Stratton, Syracuse call Wake Up Call and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media their exclusive home, and I am honored and privileged to have them as an exclusive multimedia marketing partner. Picture in picture with me in this special presentation is Tae Baker, the women's basketball head coach for Bryant Stratton, Syracuse Bobcats. Tae, how we doing?
Dan, doing very good, man. Blessed as usual.
Yeah.
Just another in paradise, man. How's everything?
Things are good, man. I'm always happy to have you on the show. We were talking about it off the air, and it's always a blessing to be around. You and I appreciate this, but we don't live in a transactional world. You and I, we live in the
Right.
relationship world, and so building these bonds and building these relationships, no matter how busy we are, what we're out doing, or what's going on. I always got, what's going on with Tay? What's going on with the team? How's he doing? How's the little girl doing? So it means a lot when you have those like really awesome fruitful relationships that you always come back and lean on the fact of knowing like whatever's crazy in the world, there's good people and there's good people in our community. So I know I hopefully I tell you it enough, but you're one of those people that I always come back to and say like it is so easy to root for Tay and the team. So I hope you feel that.
No, definitely. I definitely appreciate it, Dan. And thank you for always showing, our women's basketball team and our program love and support, bro. I appreciate it more than you know. So I just wanted to tell you on here.
No. And I appreciate it, man. I'm super we were talking about it off the air, but like how electric and how crazy is it that UMBC, a Division 1 NCAA program, says, "Hey, we want to play Bryant Stratton, Syracuse." They reach out, they want to get in touch with you, they want to play this game. You're in the USCAA, so for small colleges and in Division 1 of that, but the NCAA Division 1, UMBC, they play in the America East, which is the conference that Binghamton is in. So bring me into like that interaction, how everything got started, because that was a huge opportunity for Brian Stratton, Syracuse.
Yeah, so at first I wasn't aware of who UMBC was at first. I asked a few people who UMBC was and they told me who they were. So the head coach reached out maybe two or three times before I actually responded saying that we would accept the game. And like I said, when I told a few people that who they were, they're like, dude, you better, you better go play them. And I'm like, I basically accepted it. And when I reached back out to the coach, they were extremely happy that we were coming down there to play them. They said that they will accommodate us in any way that we need. And, to just come down and have fun. And when I got down there, I didn't know that it was like a big stage like that. So it's definitely a great experience and surprise at the
Yeah.
same time.
UMBC, the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. So to
Yes.
be out in Baltimore, I mean, what was that trip like with all the young ladies on the team?
It was great, man. Everyone, it was kind of like a team bond, and everyone on the team has a great relationship. So that's good. And that ride down there, everyone was pretty much just having fun. We bring our speaker on the road a lot, so we can have like the music, and everyone's comfortable by the time we get there. So when we get on the court and it's time to compete, everybody's relaxed. Everybody's just in a good spot, in a good space. So it was like a good fun drive.
And I gotta ask, who typically is handling the music? Is it Mags or who's doing it?
So it usually varies between Maggie and B, I would say.
Okay. All
Those
right.
are the two on the
So who
aux.
had it down at UMBC? Who had it on the way down?
Deontay,
Okay.
she had the music most of the time. It didn't it was a pretty long drive, so we listened to music. Everyone was like, hype and everything, and then everyone calmed down because it was a drive and we fell asleep.
Deontay Reed Fuller, who I interviewed going into the season in a special Bobcat Buzz. What
Yes.
type of vibes did she bring on the way down? What was the music of choice to kind of get everybody in the right frame of mind?
Well, honestly, I don't know what the music with choice was off of like their names because they're much younger than I am. So the younger rappers, I'm not really familiar with the names,
Mhm.
but I know what the music that they were playing had a good beat, had a good rhythm to it. So everyone was turned up and excited to go play at Division I school.
I gotta ask you this though, Tay, because you and I appreciate all different types of music. I believe we've talked about the hip hop world before.
Yes.
Are you surprised that everybody's Lil now? Everybody's Lil something, Lil Dirt,
Look,
Lil Wayne, Lil this, Lil that. I was like, I want people. I mean, remember we grew up on Big Papa. Now we got Lil
right.
Tiny everything. We got all these Lils. I was like, when you were rapping back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, if you were rapping, you wanted to be the big dog. Now everybody
Right.
wants to be the Lil one. Isn't that
Right.
weird to you that there's like 19 Lils, but there's only one Big Papa?
Right. No, I agree, man. And that's funny you said because the names that you're naming is too funny, like Little Yachty, you can keep going for days, Lil Uzi. But yeah, back in the day it was, you wanted to be the big dog. And that's funny you say that because that's kind of like the example that I use with the girls. Like we're big dogs, we're not little nothing, little anything. Even though we got a small team, but we got big hearts. So
Oh,
we
that's
big dogs, man.
That's the thing. I mean, so when you get on this is what I'm saying for the next bus trip, I don't
Yes.
want any Lil Uzi Vert. I don't want any of that Lil nothing. If you want to, except for Lil Wayne, Lil Wayne's okay, but I want you to
Right.
get on there and I want them to listen to, like that's what I want to, I want them to hear that. And I tell people all the time, like, if you listen to Biggie and you listen to Rick Ross, I respect Rick Ross, but I feel like he either stole his
Right.
grunts from Biggie or they both were just struggling to breathe on the track because
I,
you hear Rick, and then you hear, and I can't do More Money, More Problems, one of my favorite songs of all time. I
yes.
can't do it without imitating because I do imitations. Like I can't do it without actually trying to do Biggie's voice.
Right. Right. Right.
So,
Right.
you can't say BIGPOPP. You gotta get that like phlegm in your throat. You gotta go up here. You gotta go BIGPOPPA. No info from the
Yeah.
DEA. That's what you gotta do. So I want you to get on the bus and I want you to bring them that. I want you to just get on the bus and go, throw your roller side to side and keep the hands high. I don't want no more Lil anything. I'm telling you, I guarantee a victory if you do it.
I got you. I'm gonna record it for you, bro, and I'm gonna send it to you after the game. I'm gonna shout you out after we win.
So bring me into the moment. You go to UMBC, you're in Baltimore, and you get to play this Division I NCAA team. You're on
Yes.
ESPN Plus. Like this is a huge, huge moment. I know there were screenshots that you had there of you being
Yes.
out there. Massive moment in your career. What
Yes.
was it like to go into the arena and get ready for a game like this, knowing that you were literally asking your team to play what is considered level wise, when they look at NCAA Division I, two, and three, and then we look
Hmm.
at the USCAA, which is separate.
Right.
There's this like thought of like you can't compete, you can't get it done. But there were
Hmm.
moments where your team obviously did some really good things, and I would love to know how you kind of got them ready for this competition and going into it, because from the outside looking in, it was such a tall task. Yet
Right.
I don't know you to back down to anything. So
Right, right. To piggyback off of, not backing down on anything, I always try to give them like a motivational speech at any game. But this motivational speech was a little different for UMBC. So like to answer your question, walking into the facility was pretty cool because they brought us in through the back door. We've never had like that special Division I treatment, and that was a great experience to walk in through the back door. I had my own locker room, and that's normal, but the locker room that they gave me was pretty cool. And the women's had their locker room, and I could just see the expression in their face and their energy that they were excited to play this game. And just for myself, I was excited to be able to coach at this on the big stage at this level. So it was pretty cool. It was a great experience, Dan. It's word I can't even explain in words how cool it was.
from everything growing up in your life to have that moment where you're coaching against an NCAA Division I opponent in
Yes.
their arena, what went through your head of that little kid, that little Tay, to who you are today and standing on that stage?
What went through my head, and this usually goes through my head at every game, is just like to live in the moment. Like you're here, let's just have fun with it, you know. And as a kid, everyone knew, you know, how much I love basketball. So like as a kid growing up, I've played pretty much in every league. Like I always play around like with my family. Like I got, you know, really a lot of years on these leagues, you know. So just to be able to just have this opportunity was great, you know, a blessing. And I'm just gonna keep, you know, staying on this ride and enjoying the moment, you know what I mean? So yeah, just going into this game, man. I just wanted to enjoy the moment and just have fun while we're out there and compete, you know. No matter if we win, lose, draw, you know how they say that, but we're gonna go out here and compete. So
Yeah, coming
that
here.
was our mindset.
Tae Baker here, Bryant Stratton, Syracuse at Bobcats women's basketball head coach. Tae, there's a lot of different windows that kind of get open in this conversation. I want to tackle each of them individually.
Hmm.
Some coaches would not play this game. Some
Hmm.
coaches would say, no, I'm going to schedule a bunch of competition that I know we can handle, that I know, we can beat, especially non-conference. I'm going to put us in a situation where we're going to kind of ride an easier trail. You haven't done that with this
Right.
team. You have challenged them so early on. Why give yourself a tough schedule? Why put your team in this situation where other coaches are setting up schedules that are more of an easier road?
Yes. You know, just to piggyback off what we're talking about, like my childhood, I've always grown up. I grew up playing against competition. You know, so I played at Henninger High School. That's one of the top city schools. You know, when I was growing up. So with scheduling these games, I already told myself I want to have a good schedule. You know, games that that maybe guaranteed wins, but I want some games that's going to challenge us. You know, when we go and practice every day, I want to see if what we're working on in practice really works in the game. And
Right.
I felt like at UMBC, which we said earlier, the Division I school, I felt like the things we work on in practice, we capitalized on in the game. It was just, we got a little tired, towards the end. But overall, that's the main reason why I schedule, good teams and try to compete against good schools and good programs. It's only going to
So,
make us better.
well, and that's the thing, and making you better. What was the message to your team after the game when you go up against UMBC, an NCAA Division I opponent? What was the conversation like? What did you want them to take away from it?
Well, like we said earlier, we big dogs. We got caught, and I mean that in a humble way. UMBC reached out to us for a reason. Like they had to see that we've been making noise. Within this year or possibly last year as well. So that's what I tell the girls. Just let's go out there and compete against the best. I'm sorry, Dan, the phone cut out.
Oh, no, you're okay. No
Let's just
worries.
go out there and compete against the best teams. This opportunity, everyone doesn't get this opportunity. So let's go out here and have fun with it.
The head coach on the other side for UMBC's women's basketball team for the Retrievers, Johnetta Hayes. What was her message to you after? Did you have an opportunity to speak with her?
Yes, I had an opportunity to speak with her. Great conversation, great lady. I really thank her for this opportunity. Not to sound repetitive, but I really do. And I told her that when we spoke after the game. And the best, what's that, Dan? What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, just what did she say in that conversation?
Yeah, in that conversation, she pretty much just gave myself and our women's program, a lot of props, for coming down there and playing them, knowing that we can possibly lose and it could possibly, drop us in the rankings, but she just, saluted us for coming down there and competing. She said that all of our girls had heart. She said she would take any one of my girls, over a lot of her players. I know like coaches play around to say that, but she said that the energy and the way they played for me and the heart that they came out there and played with, that she would take that over a lot of college players today. And I thought that was pretty cool to hear that from someone coming from Coach Johnetta. But yeah.
And when Johnetta says that when you have that opportunity to have some time, I mean, Tay, you were an assistant coach. You played the game of basketball. Like you said, you played at Henniger, you played at Bryant Stratton of Syracuse. Then you were an assistant on the women's basketball team under Clay Gagan Sherman. You took over the team last season. When you're so young as a head coach and just young in general, and you have a coach in the NCAA Division I ranks saying to you like, I would take any one of your girls. I see how hard they play for you. I see how hard they fight for you. What does that do for you and that self-talk, right? Because we all chase our dreams and sometimes we wonder, is it getting through? Are people seeing what we're trying to do? Is it, are people picking up what we're putting down? Was that a moment when you got to speak with Johnetta to you? Was that a moment where you felt like it's getting through? People are seeing what I'm trying to build here. They're seeing what I'm trying to do as a coach. Like, did you feel that that was there?
Yeah, I definitely feel that was there, and I felt like her message got through to me, and I feel like I'm on Facebook a lot, so I feel like a lot of my friends and family in the world sees that I'm doing the right thing. I'm trying to change the program and keep them going in the right direction. Shout out to my guy Coach Clay. He started the women's basketball program off, and he did a great job recruiting. And I feel like I'm just trying to do the same exact thing and keep the program going. The first couple years was a roller coaster,
Yeah.
but now I'm getting the hang of things now, and I feel like basically following coach's steps and do a good job keeping the program going. And it's just going to get bigger and building relationships with Coach Johnetta. That's like my main goal is to build those type of relationships and meet new people. And, you never know who you can meet, what type of players out there you know. So I just like to meet people, build relationships then.
And in doing that, I mean, I want to go back to your childhood and growing up.
Yes.
Was there that notion of people saying, because, they always say that people will put their limitations on you
Hmm.
and they'll share their limitations. They'll say you can't do something, and it's not because you can't, but it's because they don't think that they can. And I
Right.
always find it funny when people say, like, are you exceeding expectations? Are you doing this? You're doing that? I'm like, I'm not paying attention.
Right.
And,
Right.
and people say, why? And I said, because I don't really care what anybody else thinks of me, because they don't know what I want out of myself. And
Hmm.
to be completely honest, whatever somebody wants me to achieve, I'm confident that I want more than that.
Hmm.
And, I look back on my days of working for other people and then working for myself the last 11 plus years. And working for myself, I've worked longer hours, built deeper connections, traveled more, done more, credentialed more because I know
Yes.
what I want out of myself. When
Right.
you're growing up as a kid and people are saying, maybe they're saying, Tay, you're never going to make it out of this community. You're never going to make it out of the streets. You're never going to make it out of this neighborhood. You're never going to make it as a head coach. You're never going to be a leader. Do you feel like when you go back to looking at yourself as a kid, can you go back to points where somebody was trying to get into your head and say, Tay, like, you're not going to make it. It's not going to happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've had like we call those like haters,
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had that a lot growing up, I've had it a lot with like teachers. The teachers used to say it a lot because I was used to always be like a funny, sarcastic kid.
Yeah.
But I was like a bad kid. But like as far as where I grew up at, a lot of like the older guys who I looked up to and family members, they always kind of like knew I was special, and I kind of felt that too, but I'm kind of getting at is like they kind of always pointed me in the right direction. So like when I was outside with the wrong people, I always got, you know, instantly told to, get away from those people or, just to do the right thing. So I feel like as a kid, those type of people like the haters or whatever, my parents did a good job with letting me know that words is words. Don't never let no one stop you from going being what you want to be or going to getting to where you want to go you know And that's funny you brought that up because I have my own child, 10-year-old daughter who's kind of going through the same thing right now in her school. So I'm teaching her what my parents taught me, don't listen to the haters or, the naysayers or whatever you want to call them, it's just words. God, only God can stop you, you and God can only stop you, So I always had good motivators around me.
Well, and that's the thing, and I think it doesn't really matter what community you come from. It doesn't matter, how many people are in that community. If
Mm-hmm.
there's five people in a community, one of those five people is going to tell you can't, right?
Exactly.
And if you come from a rich community, there's rich people going to tell you can't. You come from a poor community, there's poor people going to tell you that you can't.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I remember, my parents are blue collar.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to a, private Catholic school. I appreciate, obviously my relationship with God. So that was what was important to me.
Right.
But the price of going there
Mm-hmm.
and the way that kids acted there, I'm not friends with 95% of the people I went to school with because I
Right.
wasn't in a clique. I didn't want somebody to tell me what I was going to become. I didn't want to be the smart kid that can't play basketball or the basketball kid that can't study right or the guy that
Mm-hmm.
reads comic books can't play sports because you can't do
Mm-hmm.
both. And so I feel like, whatever walk of life we come from, Tay, we
Mm-hmm.
have haters, we have naysayers, we have people that say that we can't. And there's
Yes.
people that'll say, I want to prove them wrong. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't say that. I say I want to prove myself right.
Right.
Have
Right.
you been proven Tae Baker right lately?
I have. I feel like I have. I always play around like with my girlfriend or my family, and I say that, like I've been knocking that success door for like 13, 14, 15 years. So like, a lot of people looking from the outside in, would think that I'm like lucky or, I am blessed, but I've been doing a lot behind closed doors to try to get to where I'm at right now. So I really do feel like I've been proving to myself that this is where I'm supposed to be. You know, I've lost jobs over basketball, Dan. So like actually not going to work to go to a basketball game. So like,
So I mean, but it's what you love,
right.
right? It's what you love. Like, I mean, and when I would be at work, to kind of go off what you said, I would be at work and I would spend like I had a show on the weekend and I'm working throughout the week and I'm sitting there at whatever job it was and I'm writing notes for like this
Yep.
is who I want to interview. This is what I want
Yep.
to talk about. And like when I wasn't
Yep.
on the show, I was on the show.
Yep.
I feel like you and I are cut from the same cloth that like
Mhm.
what we love and what we care about, what we love to do, what we
Yeah.
want to do, what our dreams are, you can try to change our focus, but at 3 o'clock in the morning when everybody's sleeping, we're working on what we love. So I'm not surprised that basketball took you away from other things, but does basketball to you feel like it's taking you towards something now?
Yes, I think it's like pointing me in the right direction, just my life in general, like I said, I've had a ton of jobs, and I just feel like right now I love this job so much that it is bringing me in the right direction. I can tell from the like I said, the young ladies at practice reaction, all the players, they love me. They love the energy I bring every day because I'm hyping practice every day. I just love it. Even when I just had a bad day at work or a bad day at home, no one knows because I'm at practice like so turned up, because that's my like safe haven. That's my getaway spot. So yeah, I do feel like basketball is bringing me in the right direction, and you know, I love it, Dan.
Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Bryant Stratton Syracuse Bobcats. You can find the Bobcats every single month in the Bobcat Buzz with student athletes, coaches, and administration all throughout the year. Teams that have fought for national championships, won national championships, as well as teams that have advanced to the national tournament. and an up-and-coming baseball program that started last season, as well as every awesome thing that they have to offer, including esports. The Bobcat Buzz, giving you the student athletes, coaches, and administration unique stories that only the Bobcats can tell. You can find all of this by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt and clicking subscribe, or simply searching at WakeUpCall DT on YouTube. Our BSC Syracuse playlist gives you our Bobcats on the YouTube channel. You can also find them on wakeupcalldt.com underneath exclusive partners in the BSC Syracuse page. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com. And as always, go Bobcats. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success at Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also, I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career, it's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox.
If I had to describe it, I would like to say welcoming and kind of homey. Like, I feel home when I'm here.
Here's a special message from North Star Nutrition in North Syracuse and Nutrition Wave in Cicero on their very unique shakes and teas.
I always ask them, are you looking for a shake or a tea? Like, are you hungry or do you need a little bit of a pick-me-up? And then from there, I normally gear it towards whichever they prefer. So I say we offer full meal replacement shakes. They're 24 grams of protein, 21 vitamins and minerals. So the vitamins and minerals in that shake make it a full meal. And you'll stay full for about 4 or 5 hours. And if they want a tea, then I'll tell them that there's either 115 to 200 milligrams of caffeine. I would compare it to maybe 2 cups of coffee, and I explain all the benefits that are in the tea. Like, they have B vitamins to sustain your energy all day long. They have a tea for mental clarity and focus. They have a thermogenic tea to help boost your metabolism, burn calories. Aloe is great for nutrient absorption and digestion. And I say there's other flavors in it for the pretty colors and flavors. I always ask them, like, what's your favorite lollipop flavor? And then I'll go from there, and I'm like, well, believe it or not, there's less than 1 gram of sugar, and it's good for you. The shakes, I say it's like your favorite candy bar or your favorite ice cream, because you've had them. It genuinely does not taste like a regular protein shake. This was the first yes that I've ever given, because I've always been like too shy or too scared to like talk to people or anything, and this just kind of really opened me up. I've stayed here so long because I just love seeing everybody's faces, having them like sit down at the bar and just telling us little tidbits about their life. You really have no idea what's going on in other people's life, and I feel like this job specifically really puts it into perspective and just kind of helps you enjoy other people's presence. As like a young adult and as a person, I have learned so much working here. Like, to me, it's way more than just shakes and teas.
For healthy drinks that taste amazing in a welcoming atmosphere, head to North Star Nutrition on 628 South Main Street in North Syracuse and Nutrition Wave on 6197 State Route 31 in Cicero. Open 7 days a week at each location. Do you feel like you can be, I know it's important to you to be an example for other people. Do you feel that chasing your dreams, doing what you love, loving what you do, and trying to find a way to just get to everything that you want, and you're such a tenacious person, you want so many things out of your life. Do you feel like people are seeing that and that you're helping somebody else to focus, to do the right thing, to get into the classroom, to make sure that they study, to make sure that they practice? I mean, do you feel that the example that you're setting is being picked up by others around you?
I really do, Dan. Yeah. I hear it on and off, every day I hear it, and I was gonna say on and off, like, social media, because that's where I run into a lot of people at social media. So like I hear from a lot of like friends and family that like They love what I'm doing. They give them like hope and motivation to chase whatever dream it is that they're chasing. Um, I noticed that a lot of like my friends that I played basketball with, they're also coaches, head coaches, assistant coaches, and you know they're chasing their dream off of seeing me do what I've done the last 4 or 5 years. You know, and I just feel like it's giving the younger generation hope too, because I also, trained a lot of the youth around our community, and I trained some of the guys that are playing, like a couple of my guys that are at Binghamton. I've trained them, and like a lot of the high school athletes, I've trained them as well. So it's just pretty cool getting showing like, I'm sorry, Dan, my dog, he's bothering me, Dan.
You're good.
But yeah, man, to answer your question, I really do believe that it's just showing everybody that you can do whatever it is you want to do in life, bro. And I'm a firm believer of it, and I believe this is just the beginning.
I mean, can you see yourself taking this program to new heights? Do you see Bryant Stratton, Syracuse women's basketball as something that you really want to mold into your own thing and help to brand its identity and give it a strong, basis and grow it in? I mean, we talked about Clay, and Clay started the program, and obviously he's on the men's basketball side of Bryant Stratton, Syracuse. Now that this is your kid and this is your baby, do you feel that you want to be here to raise that child and to be a part of whatever's going to come for the Bobcats?
Yes, sir, man. And like you said, this is my baby. This is year number 2 for me. So my baby's only 2 years old right now. So I'm just learning, the steps and what I'm supposed to do to bring the program to the next level. As far as basketball, I feel like I'm doing a good job at that. There's always room to get better, and I plan on being here for a while, and I plan on getting better. But just one day at a time. Just taking it step by step. What is it, brick by brick? And I feel like we are gonna bring this program to the next level. I'm recruiting. I know I said it last year, but I got a much better understanding than last year as far as recruiting. Like I said, as when I get the paper side completely down packed, and I'm doing a good job at that as well, then yeah, it's gonna bring our program to the next level.
And for you, I mean, this season you've had to play with a shorter roster numbers wise, and
Yes.
that season you had to do the same thing. Where
Yes.
are we in recruiting and you building toward the future to make sure that if and when an injury happens or something happens, that your roster is going to be able to be a safe haven that you can lean on? So how is recruiting going for the future and making sure that you have the numbers that you want?
Yes, as of right now, I've been reaching out to coaches, like I mentioned earlier. I'm just trying to build relationship with coaches. So some of the coaches that I built relationships with last season, they're having showcases coming up. So I plan on going to showcases, at least 2 of them, one in December and one in like January, like around break. Well, just the beginning of January around break. I plan on going to both of those showcases and just going to my local areas and just talking to players, because I know there's players out there that want to play at the collegiate level. I just got to get out there and find them. And then, like I said, now that I have a better understanding, I'm on the grind now. Now that the players are more comfortable, because these are the players I recruited in,
Yeah.
so I'm them as well. Do they have friends, family members that want to come and help and join? As of right now, I have 3 to 4 girls. I don't want to say 4 exact, but 3 to 4 girls joining in January. And we the coach Alex and Coach Nick and I came up with an idea to get a few players around campus. And shout out to Coach Nolan as well. Nolan Cass, he's been helping us out crazy with recruiting. So I feel like with the plan that we came up with, I should have at least 12 girls, maybe in January, and then by next season have a full roster.
And having to play, I mean, you're playing like we talked about UMBC, a Division I NCAA women's basketball team in the America East. When you're not just that game, but in general, when you're playing with a shorter bench and less, how have you
Mhm.
gotten creative as a head coach to utilize your talents and to be smart about it? Because obviously your team can't get into foul trouble. There's a lot of things that I mean, defensively, you have to make sure they have the stamina. So when you have a smaller bench, you got to think about everything. You got to think about fouls. You got to think about scheming. You have to think about offensively what you want to do. So, what have you done as a coach to make a disadvantage to some be an advantage to you? How have you turned those numbers into an advantage?
It goes back to, practice. I feel like we really take practice serious. Like we joke around a lot in practice because I like the girls to be comfortable, but we also take practice serious to where, I try to have them really play defense and slide their feet without their hands, like hands behind your back or hold a shirt over your head. Like no, so it's like basically equivalent to not fouling in the game. You're just sliding your feet, beating the player to the spot.
Yeah.
You know, just like I said, it goes back to practice, the things I do, and then I'm still a basketball and like a student of the game, so I still play basketball myself. So a lot of the things I do with my team and like these leagues that I play in, I bring it over to the girls, like our zone defense. I know we're short numbers, so we have to really play zone defense to the best of our ability, take pride in our defense. I got that from Coach Cerrone, take pride in your defense. Don't just let a defender blow by you and expect your help to help, because now you're putting them in a situation, to possibly get in foul trouble or get injured, like our starting player, Maggie. I know you love Maggie Trayor. Yeah, she's one of our injured players, but yeah, it just goes back to practice and just taking accountability and going out there with pride. And like you said, like that big dog heart and mentality, we just go out there and know that we can't get in foul trouble. Help each other. I tell them, help each other. We're sisters, if your sister in trouble in real life, you're going to help her out. So in basketball, when you get blew by, your sister should be there to help you out until you can get back. And just always give them a motivational speech. They always sound like I'm an old school preacher.
Well, that's the thing, though. The old school I mean, those are the ones again. I mean, you know what I mean? If you're a preacher and you're getting through to people, then why not do it? I mean, the thing is that every single day, there's not a person that doesn't need a pep talk, right? We look
Right.
for them on social media. We look for posts. We look for different things. So, I mean, talking to your team and showing your team that love and that appreciation and that respect and teaching them about family values, right?
Mhm.
I mean, to me, I used to sit with my family every Friday, watch Full House, Boy Meets World, Family Matters,
Yeah.
Step by Step, and I would
Yeah.
learn about family. And then,
Mhm.
you go to a coach, and there was the coach that would want you to help out your brothers, help out your sisters.
Right.
And then
Right.
there's the other coach that would just talk about winning and,
Mhm.
would maybe ridicule somebody or something like that. So, I mean, it
Mhm.
depends on what type of coach you want to be. And sometimes you have to give tough love. But I
Right.
think that what I would say to all the women's basketball players at Bryant Stratton of Syracuse is if Tae is out there giving you a motivational speech, give it the opportunity to motivate you because I feel like sometimes we all kind of feel like we know
Mhm.
everything and
Mhm.
we can't make a mistake and we've been playing basketball all of our lives and we know everything that we need to do and I got it, coach. But the reality of it all is that human beings are never meant to be alone.
Right.
And
Right.
the more that we can kind of take constructively from each other and learn from each other, I think the better off we're going to be. Because I mean, when I was on the court, I remember on 2-3 zone, I would say,
Mhm.
put your hands up. And
Mhm.
my guys in
Mhm.
practice, my teammates would ignore me. And I'd say, guys, put your hands up. And then so I would put my hands up and my team would not do it. And then they would get upset if the ball got through or if something
Okay.
happened. And they're like, what the heck? And I'm like, well, I told you guys to put your hands up. So,
Yes.
I think sometimes
Right.
we don't want to do certain things, but you got to understand that. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes in practice, you got to make those mistakes because they say you play the way you practice. So, I'd rather make the mistakes with my team in practice than make them in a game where that's going to cost us a victory. So, all I could say to the women's basketball team is when Tae's talking, act like that he knows what he's talking about. The man's played ball for a long time.
Yes, yes. And I try to tell them the same thing, Van. I think what it is that the girls sometimes forget that I'm much older and I look very young, man, but they forget, like you said, I've been playing this game a long time, man, and I always make a little joke to them that I heard Ice Cube say, like, I've been their age before, they never been mine,
Yeah.
So, either to what I'm saying or, someone older than them, when they're speaking.
So and you mentioned Ice Cube, which I love that you found a way to sneak in Cube to that. And then
Yes.
have you ever seen the movie Top Five with Chris Rock?
Top five. Nope, I haven't.
So you got to watch Top Five, and it's called Top. It's about Chris Rock, and it's kind of like about his life, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's a movie. It's not a documentary. It's not that type of movie, but he's a comedian. He's just like he was an alcoholic. He decided to get away from everything, so he's not really funny anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like staying away from comedy. And he goes to see his friends back in the old neighborhood, and they're all in the apartment and they said, "Who's your top five?" And Leslie Jones is there, and she puts iced tea in it, and they're like, "Iced tea," and she's like, "Ice mother, you know a tea," and she's like, "What does she say?" She says, she said, "Police knocking at my door, fresh Adidas sneakers screech across the floor," and and every time, so if I hear Ice Cube or Ice T, all I picture is Leslie Jones defending him. But I want to ask you this
Yeah.
as you and I are coming in and out of the sports and entertainment world in this conversation. If
Mm-hmm.
you had to pick a top five in hip hop, and it doesn't have to be in any specific order, it doesn't have to be one, two, three, four, five. If you had a top five, who would they be?
The top five. I would go with Jadakiss. Any order you say, just any
Any
order?
order, yeah.
I would say Jadakiss, um, Fabulous,
Okay.
the rapper Fabulous. Um, who else am I into? Who do I like a lot? I'm trying to think who's lyric. I like J. Cole.
Okay.
I like him. I'm gonna throw a younger rapper, and I don't really like him lyrically, but I like his beats. They get us going during the game, and that's Lil Uzi.
Okay.
Yeah, he always got us going.
One
And
more.
then one more.
Yeah, one more.
Uh, my last, I would have to say it would have to be probably it's out of three though. Nas, Biggie, or Tupac. I
Okay.
like them. Just the stories they used to tell, mainly Biggie or Tupac, the stories. But yeah,
If I had, I'm gonna play the game that I just asked you to play.
yep.
So
Actually,
if I had to do a top five, see,
yes.
mine's a little bit different. So, and I feel like if I pick Mace, people lose their mind, but Mace was my
Oh,
favorite growing up.
yes,
So
yes.
if it's to me personally, because I don't know anybody that moves as smooth as Bugsy, so it's gotta be $MA$E. And if you're ever out trying to find me, I think I should warn you. So I'm gonna say Mace. I'm gonna say
Yep.
LL
Okay.
because I was singing dirty music when I was 10 and I didn't know what I was singing. So I was thinking doing it. And I remember my mom came home from work. I was in my grandma's house. I go, "Mom, how come LL Cool J is eating this apple looking at this woman through like a box?" And she's just like, "I don't know, honey." And then she was like fixing my shirt and she turned and she looked and she goes, "Why don't we shut that off?" So
Yeah.
so, I want to say I want to say LL and oh, man. So I'm gonna say LL, I'm gonna say Mace, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say
Two
hmm,
good artists. Okay.
this is tough. I oh, I feel like I would want to put Ice Cube in there.
Ice Cube.
I feel
Okay.
like I might want to put Ice Cube in there. I got to put Wayne in. Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
know Wayne is dirty and
I- yeah.
he's so dirty, but he's so dirty, man. But you can't help the beat though. I mean,
Right.
it's funny, like if I'm dating and a girl comes into the house and she's like, I don't listen to any of that music, but you put Wayne on in the background, she starts moving, right? You know, like you
Bro,
can't help move to the beat.
everybody loves Wayne
No.
too.
But I gotta say, like my favorite Wayne line, I think I told you this before, my favorite Wayne line, and I have to do his impersonation too, but it's such like it's not a swearing thing. It's got like not it's just it's just I walk light so I don't piss the ground off. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. It's the one I can
Yeah.
say on the air. And
Yes.
so I'd have Wayne, LL Cool J,
Yep. That's two.
Mace, Ice Cube, and you know,
Got one more.
oh man, it's tough. I probably have to say Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick, yeah.
I gotta have
Yes.
Kendrick. He's like, because to me, he's Kanye 2.0.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I mean, when he gets going, and it's like he'll start rapping, and you just hear it, and it's like, okay, I could follow, and he's like this and this and this, and then it's like da 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 da, and I'm just like, wow. And I got to give some credit to Eminem because he can rap fast too, but I don't like when Eminem first came out, and he was just like being an internet troll, just talking
Right,
about
right.
everybody. But
Right.
yeah, probably Kendrick Lamar, because before Chadwick Boseman, bless him in heaven, passed away, before he passed away, I was on for, I don't even know, 2 years at least on the Black Panther soundtrack, the original one. And then like
Yes.
it went up 200-300%. People were like buying it, listening to it and all that. And I was like, I was listening to Run the Jewels and Kendrick Lamar and all those songs, and Are You on 10 Yet? So I found it funny that like a couple of years ago, everybody's like, man, this Black Panther soundtrack's really good from Marvel. And I was like, where have you, I got it on vinyl. I'm like, where have you guys been? So
Right.
I'm also really confused why they didn't have Kendrick do the second Black Panther movie.
Right.
Because the songs aren't bad, but it's not like Rihanna's song is slow. It's so slow.
It's not like, yeah.
And then you got, Kendrick, which and every single song made you feel like you were in the movie.
Yes, yeah.
So I got to put Kendrick up there. I was thinking about putting Kanye, but Kanye's just, he's weird to me, man.
Kanye just all over.
He's just too much. Like sometimes I'm like, all right, Kanye, you're all right with me. And then he says something and I'm like, man, I gotta roll up the windows when I listen to your music, Kanye. I mean, I remember I was listening to his music and somebody's like, did you know what he just said about whatever? And I'm like, no, man, I'm just listening to his music.
Just like his lyrics.
I was like, I'm not supporting what he said on like Entertainment Tonight. I'm just listening to his lyrics. But I will say this. The Kardashian family is undefeated in ruining men's careers.
Yes, bro. I agree with that. Like, I forgot who else they got. Kanye.
Reggie Bush.
Oh my goodness.
Lamar Odom.
Yes. Yep.
That one guy, Tristan Thompson or whatever in the NBA.
Oh my, yes.
So
stay away from the Kardashians.
Man, I got a lot of thoughts about the Kardashian stuff, man. I was like, some of them are beautiful. Some of them attractive, right. Some of them not. Some of them are beautiful, but I will tell you flat out, if like one of the prettiest ones in the family were like, what's up, Dan? I'd be like, nah, man, I care too much about my dreams.
Yeah, bro. You might as well throw them away after you talk to one of them.
I don't know what it is. They just suck the life out of you. I don't know what
it's happened. The beauty, bro.
What'd you say?
I said it's the beauty. It's the beauty in them.
That's the thing. Like Kanye was like good and going a little crazy. And then he got with Kim and his music was terrible. And then as soon as they announced that they were getting divorced, the first thing I said was, thank goodness his music's going to be good again. And then he came out with new songs and they were great.
They were great, bro. Yep. It's the curse, the Kardashian curse.
But I was like, I listen to his music now and I'm like, man, all he needed to do was get rid of the Kardashians. But there was one song that I was listening to like the past year. And the, like when you're listening on your CarPlay, it pops up the picture.
Yep.
Kanye has like really like inappropriate pictures he uses on stuff, but you can't make the picture not show up. So when I'm listening to the music, I'm just like, I really hope that like if somebody's in my car, I gotta like take it off of CarPlay. I gotta play it on Bluetooth because you can't see because it's his pictures. But I'm like, man, just listen to it. And he takes a little dig at Kim in the song, and
Right,
I
right,
don't know.
right.
I feel like Kanye's good, but like Kendrick Lamar hasn't gotten himself in any trouble. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna go with Kendrick Lamar.
No, I agree. There's so
Yeah.
many more artists that can go in the top five, but yeah.
But I know and this and we gotta watch the movie. We should watch the movie together. We need to pick
What
a
is it?
called Top Five.
Top
But
five. Okay,
so
okay.
we need to watch this movie together. You and I, we just get some popcorn. We can make it
Let's
a
do
team
it.
night.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with
A
that.
team night, some popcorn, some pizza. Do we got a
Yep.
play? Do we have a place on campus? Do we have a projector screen or something we could pull down in one of those rooms?
Yep, we got a projector screen. We got our little sports room that we can bring, all the girls in. We can definitely make that happen, Dan, as soon as possible.
So yeah, we need to do top five because then we're gonna do our top five, and then I'm gonna say Mace and LL Cool J, and I know your team's gonna yell at me.
Yeah, they're gonna go crazy. Mace, oh, cool. Who is that?
You're like, who's Mace? I mean, what? But I will tell you this: there's a girl that I knew way back in the day,
Yes.
and the last time I really had a conversation with her where I purposely sat next to her, she said
Mhm.
Mace was the worst rapper in the history of mankind.
Oh,
And I was
oh.
like, our friendship is over. And since
Yeah.
then, I have not purposefully tried to spend any time with that girl. Like, she ruined it based on that. She goes, Mace is the worst rapper ever. I was like, do you want to be friends? Because like
Like,
certain things I can handle, but if you're gonna come after Mace, I feel like
yeah, like,
it's Mace and Betha,
do you know how that make me feel? Exactly, yeah.
Right. I was like,
Exactly.
I've been around Mace for so long listening to that music. I consider him, he's like part of the family now. I was like, man, you can't attack Feel So Good. I mean, come on now. So
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
the Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, located for you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is open 7 days a week. Head to GG Cards and Breaks on Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 to 5. They have singles, graded cards, as well as packs and boxes. You never know what's going to be at GG Cards and Breaks, so you got to stop in every single week and sometimes every other day to head out to GG Cards and Breaks. If you've never collected cards before, it's a perfect time to start. And if you have collected it, you know how wonderful the hobby is and how amazing the community is coming together at GG Cards and Breaks. A fantastic staff with fantastic people who are passing down the sports card collecting from generation to generation or starting it in their family for the first time ever. Is truly an amazing experience that connects us to the world of sports like no other. Head to GG Cards and Breaks for soccer, basketball, football, baseball, as well as multi-sport and so much more, including AEW. You can also find Disney Lorcana singles, and you can find Pokemon all at GG Cards and Breaks on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. Open 7 days a week, right off of Teal Ave. Make sure you head out there today.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins. Tune in on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time for Dolphin Time, first and third Wednesday of each month with AD and DT featuring Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora. Every second and fourth Wednesday, you'll find the Dolphin Dive, diving into the stories of student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni. All of our content with the Dolphins can be found by subscribing to our YouTube channel on youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT, or you can just go to YouTube and search at WakeUpCallDT, and make sure when you're there that you go to the Lemoyne Dolphins playlist that's exclusively on our YouTube channel. You can also find the Dolphins by going to wakeupcalldt.com. Underneath exclusive partners, you'll find the Lemoyne Dolphins page, and for more information, go to LemoyneDolphins.com. As always, fins up. So,
Mace was that guy too, man.
So, I mean, did you listen to Bad Boy back in like the Locks and Loon and Mace and Biggie and Diddy? Did you listen to like that era time period or no?
I did. It was mainly like my older brothers and you know my parents used to listen to them a lot. So like I didn't really know too much of like I knew Mace and you know like Pete Puff Daddy at the time, but P Diddy now. But yeah, I didn't really listen to like 112. I know they had like different groups and stuff. Puff had different groups.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I was like a youngin at that time, but that was like my era. But I was just, a youngin at the time.
Let me hit you with this really quick. When I
Yes.
was 12 years old, Mace did a song with 112, and I was sitting on the stairs going up the stairs in my house I grew up in that my dad's still in. I
Mhm.
sat on the stairs, I was listening to it. I had my CD player next to me, and at
Yeah.
12 years old, in my something inside of my head said, listen to these words and live by them whether you like it or not for the rest of your life.
Wow.
You want to know what the words were?
What's that?
If she got with you when she already had a man, why wouldn't she cheat on you? I never forgot those words.
That's a true statement,
I
though.
never so I tell people all the time when somebody's telling me a story about, oh, I'm dating this girl and this and I'm like, man, 112 told me when I was 12 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're undefeated. 112 is undefeated. So they're undefeated. But I mean, I remember what 112, it was 808. And I mean, there was and Vogue.
Mhm.
I don't know. We were spoiled. I tell people, I was like, I'm not old, but I sound like I'm 100 years old when I'm like, Queen Latifah was a rapper to me.
Right.
You know, the
Everyone,
Queen was the best.
she's a movie actor to all the young kids now, but you're right. And like I said, that was my parents and my brothers in the era. But like you said, she used to be a rapper. I remember Queen Latifah I heard go in back in the day.
She was good. She did a song with Luther Vandross, and all I could say about Luther, bless him in heaven too,
Yeah,
is Luther was dirty, man. And he did a song called Hit It Again. And she's on the track rapping, and he keeps saying, like, I want you to come back to the house, and I want you to like, I want to be affectionate with you. And she's like, nah, man, you gotta go to work. Like but it's such a good song. And I remember I played it in the car for my buddy James and Michael, and I was like, you gotta listen to this. I was like, Luther's nasty. And Michael's like, no way that Luther Vandross is nasty. I was like, dude, he's nasty. I heard this song. And I lived for this. When he was sitting in the front, I'm in the back. He was like this. I was like, I told you. He's like, this isn't Luther. I said, I promise you.
Yeah.
Promise you, this is Luther. Luther, man, he could go everywhere with his music.
Right.
But I mean, and I love it but this is us, Tay. I mean, we've talked about so many things
Mhm.
in our conversations, and that's why Wake Up Call, the tagline is where sports meets life, because we're here to talk about basketball, but
Yes.
we just talk.
On off the court, yeah.
We just rep with each other. And I think
Sure.
and this is what I love though, because like this is what I would want to listen to. Two people start talking about basketball, and then all of a sudden it's like LL Biggie, how dirty is
Yes.
Luther? I'm gonna put the title on this. How dirty is Luther? Tay and DT.
Everybody gonna click that. It's gonna be a clickbait.
Like, did you know how dirty Luther was? Luther was nasty. But I want to do a rapid fire before I let you go. You get
Yes.
to ask me the first question.
All right. So this is my daughter's question. She's in the living room, and I asked her if I can for a question. I just wanted to make sure it's okay to ask you it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a pretty simple question. If you could star in any movie and play in any role, what would it be?
All right. And I want you to shout out your daughter. For the people that don't know, I want you to give her a little shout out right now.
Yes. Shout out to my daughter, Mariah Baker. She's a big reason why I do what I do every day. She's a hustler, just like how I am, a grinder. She doesn't stop until she gets what she wants. I just want to put her. I know we had an interview before.
Yeah.
She just wanted to say hi. Don't mind her here, everyone.
Yeah. What's up, Mariah? How you doing?
Good.
You're doing good. So I got to keep you on camera because I'm going to answer your question. Okay. So you wanted to know if I could be in any movie, what would I be in?
Yeah.
Am I playing a character or am I playing me?
You are playing a character.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you right now, he was my favorite superhero growing up as a kid. I got to be in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 as an extra. And so if I ever got to play a character, I would be Spider-Man. And the difference between me and the other Spider-Men out there is that I don't want a stunt double. I would have them shoot me out of a cannon, put me upside down on the Empire State Building. I would want to be Spider-Man, and I would want to be in the next movie that he's going to be in.
That's
Is that okay? That answer okay?
Yeah.
All right, Mariah, I appreciate it. Thank you for the question.
You're welcome.
Dan,
So-
appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, man. All right, Tay.
Yes.
If you could take your daughter Mariah on
Yep.
on like a trip with no limitations, you could go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Where do you want to take Mariah?
I would say she's talked about this before. If I could, and I plan on it one day, I would like to take her to Paris. You know, just to let her explore. It'll be experience for myself as well. I've never been there. I know nothing about it. I've seen it on TV. So, you know, and my daughter also brought it up before, you know, saying that would be a place that she would like to visit. So that would definitely be one place. You know, the other place was Disney, but we marked that, you know, thank God we were able to mark that off our checklist this year.
Good.
So we went to Disney World, and, you know, our next place is Paris. We don't know when though.
I love that. I love that. What did you do in Disney? What was the trip about? What'd you do?
Disney was just pretty much a family trip. We haven't taken a trip in, you know, in years. So I
That's when you
decided
and I were down there at the same time, right?
Yes. Yep. Yep. We spoke about it in our previous podcast. Yes, sir. And yeah, that's pretty much what we did. Just went down there, enjoyed family time, you know, we went swimming, went to the aquarium, I believe it's called, was in Disney World, see the Disney show, you know, just had a great experience and just got away from the real world for about a week.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
awesome. I love it.
yes.
I love it. So what's your question for me, Tay?
Another question
Yeah.
is, if you could play in any sport, in any position, what would it be? Because I know your passion is, you know, the podcast, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that
yeah.
was your, so yeah.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm passionate about, but there's something that like, and I just said this recently, and I don't say this with an ego, I say this with love and passion.
Mhm,
If I was asked to coach a basketball team today,
mhm.
like I would be able to step in and automatically start seeing things, doing things. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm always going to grow. I'm
Yes.
not walking in there saying I'm awesome. I'm walking in there saying I'm educated. And if I went into a basketball team right now, I would be able to pick out things. So
Mhm.
I would say if I could play any sport, it would be basketball. And I'll be a point guard or a shooting guard, but I'd like to be a point guard. I feel like I could have been better growing up as a point guard.
Mhm.
And I mean, I could shoot threes, but I'd like to get my handles down a little bit. And I know that I got a buddy, Tae Baker, that's got Handles Academy, so maybe he can help me out a little bit.
Appreciate that, Dan. Shout out to Handles Academy.
Yeah. My
I
question,
can help you with that. Yes.
good. I like it. All right. My question for you, if you took my job for the day and you did Wake Up Call,
Yes.
who are the three guests? If you could have anybody in the world, who are the three sports guests you would have on Wake Up Call?
Anyone in the world?
Anybody. Sports.
Sports wise, okay. I would probably go with, this is my guy. I love my guy, Coach Eric Cerrone. And this is no order, but I just love his knowledge. You know, I would definitely bring him on your show and pick his brain a little bit.
He's been on, which is great.
Wow, yeah, I gotta tune into that. Yeah. So yeah, he's one. I will pick like an NBA player, like you know, like a Steph Curry or someone, like one of my favorite players, just to see like their day-to-day life and how they live their, like I said, day to day, how they wake up and work out, and what is their practice plan, what is their coach's practice plans, you know. And my last person I would probably like to meet someone like I will have on your show is someone motivational, like you know, I Am George. He's a motivational speaker. That's where I get like the big dog from. Eric Thomas. Someone who can like motivate me and just like give me that spark. Like, you know, like I know you said three, but like I would have like a Jay-Z, you know, there's so many people I would name that I would have on your show, and just talk to them and just, help them open my mind to another level.
And we could have a Kanye intervention.
A Kanye intervention. Oh man, I would love to have him on your show.
I'd be like, he'd be answering a question and he'd be like, yeah, man. And then the aliens came down and it was crazy. And they beamed us back up and it was like Guardians of the Galaxy. I went to a universe where everybody was a crystal.
Yeah,
yeah. It was nuts. And it helped me write the songs for College Dropout. And I'd be looking at him and I'd be like, bro, I asked you if you like pancakes. Like that's
Right,
how this
right.
started. How did we get up here? But now I want to know about the crystal people that helped you write College Dropout. Like now I want to know. So, but that's that. I'd be like, Kanye, all I said was, do you like blueberries or chocolate chips in your pancakes? How we get out here?
Yep. And that's what will make your podcast so much more interesting because his answers are gonna be all the way off the wall.
Be so wild. But with that being said, to bring it full circle, Tae, why should people come out and see the Bryant Stratton Syracuse women's basketball program? Why should they support this program and be a part of history with you and your student athletes?
Yeah, I feel like people should come out and see our women's basketball program. Just just the simple fact of where we came from, how hard we worked for these last 2 years. I said before, we have something to prove. And I feel like, the start of the season, even though we took a few losses, I feel like we are proving our point and making noise and, standing on business and, just moving in the right direction. So I feel like if we have support and, our games get a little bit more people and, fans there, I feel like that will bring our girls like confidence to the next level, even though they're very confident, they play with or without a crowd. But, with fans there, it's going to just open a whole nother door, and I just feel like we're slowly but surely building this program. And I feel like I just need the support from, the town, the support that I get on social media. Like imagine, 200-300 people, that like my post actually come to the game, like we support our high school games, because at the end of the day, I am a local kid, from Syracuse, local player, local everything. I've bled and everything for Syracuse and as far as basketball itself, from Grant Middle School to Henniger to OCC to Bryant Stratton, do you know what I mean? So I feel like I put in a lot of work, and the only thing I ask for is just the support. I don't ask for anything else. Come and support us at the games, So
why do you?
That's why. Yes.
Why do you love Syracuse? Why'd you stay?
I love Syracuse because everything. I just feel like I've gained everything in Syracuse. Like everything I achieved, I've done it in Syracuse. I've never had to leave outside of my city to accomplish what I've accomplished. That, like we said earlier, with the the naysayers and the haters. I just feel like I'd rather deal with my haters here in Syracuse than have to go to another city or state and deal with haters that I don't know about, So, because even my haters in Syracuse, they show me love and support. I honestly don't think they don't even know why they're hating, So
I love that. I got haters everywhere. Might as well go to my haters at home.
So, and they exactly. They say your haters are your motivators, and then on top of that, I just love Syracuse because this is where my family, this is where I was born and raised. This is where my family at, this is where my daughter at, my parents, and then like I said, I just grew up here. I love my city, but I always get like the girls always mess with me about being here because they say like it's boring, it's not enough places to go and stuff like that. But I always let them know you're here for one reason. That's to play basketball. Well, two reasons: play basketball and get a degree, and then you can enjoy life after.
Well, and the thing is anybody that tells me that there's nothing to do in Syracuse, I'm like, oh, spend 24 hours with me. Let's get in the car. Let's go do something. So there's
I would love, yes,
plenty to do. Tae, every time we talk, I come up with ideas. And we definitely need to do a movie night with the team
Yeah.
in top 5. So
Yeah.
that's a done deal if you're good with
Done
that.
deal.
Okay.
Done deal, bro. Done
So
deal.
you let them know that we're doing top 5. It's Chris Rock. One of my biggest crushes that I have to this day, Rosario Dawson, is in it. Who else is in this movie? Tracy Morgan's in this movie.
Oh yeah, I
And
know.
Tracy, jealousy ain't gonna get y'all nowhere. And then he's in it. Leslie Jones is in it. Who is it? Michael Che's in it for like a second.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think who else is in it. Jay Farrow. And there's some really good, and it's got like a bunch of pieces to it and a bunch of like teachable moments and then funny moments and then challenging stuff. So the movie is really good, and it's comedy, and I like to laugh and have a good time. So we're gonna do top 5, and we're gonna make that happen. So top 5 movie night with myself and the Bryant Stratton women's basketball team. Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir. It's locked in already, Dan.
I love it. Well, Tae, as always, I appreciate you. I could talk to you about toothpicks, man. It doesn't even matter. So,
Yes, sir.
literally any topic, because I love your energy. I love your positivity. I know I told you this at the beginning, but thank you for being so good to me. It's really a blessing to have you in my city, and I'm happy to be in your city. I mean, this city belongs to the two of us and to so many people out there, and I'm at a loss of words that I just genuinely like that we get to spend time together and we get to build this thing together. So whenever you're out there and you're having a tough moment, you think that nobody's there, just know I'm behind you, pushing you, trying to keep you upright. And I know you got my back too.
Yes, sir, Dan. You already know, man. And like I said earlier, I appreciate the opportunity and I appreciate the love and support you always show us, man. Definitely. And our door is always open, and we got that locked in for the you said top 5 movie, right?
Yes.
It's locked in.
All right. Awesome.